Beverly, what do you do downtown, or what do you do for Zappos?
Oh, what do I do for Zappos?
Yep.
Well, there's a lot to that, so I'll just give you just a brief history. I've been with the company 15 years, like in the next 2 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's been really cool to watch the company grow and to be a part of that experience. But what Tony was saying about market-based dynamics, where each circle has their own P&L and kind of thinking about their, I guess, each circle as a startup business. I'm doing something within that world where we've branched off into something that's called Z Franchise. And so I'm a co-founder of Zappos Packs, which is basically curating the products that we currently have on the Zappos sites through the lens of travel. So whatever destination that you're going to, we will help you pack for your unique travel adventure. So the problem that we're trying to solve for, and Tony was mentioning, like, what problems are you trying to solve for in the company versus like what added features might be nice? The problem that we solve for, I guess maybe I'll ask you guys questions. Hopefully it applies to you.
We're the perfect people to ask.
Yes, please.
So if you're traveling and going to, let's say you're planning a trip somewhere, do you ever get stressed out in terms of like what you're going to pack?
Oh yeah, I get so
100%.
stressed out that I don't pack until an hour before I leave.
Okay.
Because I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it, right? So
Yep.
some people get stress and anxiety around that. So we noticed that was a problem. And, maybe people don't know how to account for like humidity and wind chill and all those
Nobody
other
thinks of
factors.
that.
Yes, yeah, I
No, you can't just look at temperature. You have to think about like wind chill and humidity and what
Right.
fabrics are the best. So that is something that we're trying to help customers with. And so you can come to, so Zappos Packs is all about packing to make sure that wherever your adventure takes you in life, that you feel your best.
Now,
We can help you with that.
Does that have its own website, or is that part of the Zappos website?
It is. Because we just launched on the Zappos website, so we're a part of the Zappos experience.
Okay.
So you can go to the site navigation and go to Zappos Packs. But if you ever wanted to go to it, it's Zappos. Zappos.com/e/packs. But I think you can also do zappospacks.com, and that redirects to that
There you
as well.
go. That's a lot simpler.
Yeah, I think that's what we were trying to. Oh, okay.
So one of the things that.
Oh yes, Instagram. Yes, please follow us on Instagram.
Ooh.
Zappos Packs on Instagram, please.
Should that be the first link on this video? That should be
Yes,
the first link?
Zappos,
We'll do it.
Zappos Packs
we
on
got you.
Instagram.
We'll go ahead and do that.
Would be amazing.
So
Are you filming this? Oh my god!
I got Tony in the
There's a
corner
lot.
filming this whole thing.
Can
on
I?
his phone.
we're just getting more angles, but tell them. But there's a difference. Because it's not just sounds like a good idea, but tell them about some of the validation
Customer validation.
Oh yes.
and what that's.
Oh, the whole journey. So basically, it's been.
People probably don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, you mean like what, the journey that I went on for this to actually be a part of
Well,
the.
we just don't fund randomly.
No, yes, you don't. Okay, so yes.
Yeah. Do it.
So this has been, I would say, like a long time coming within the past year. So I think something that I love about Zappos and having that entrepreneurial spirit, and especially now with the world of market-based dynamics, something when he's saying that each circle has their own P&L, and instead of having that top-down budgeting, what's in, sometimes in certain companies where certain areas of the company have all the budget, and if you get like one no, then the idea is squashed, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so what's great about this is that all it takes is one yes, but you can't just have a great idea. You want to make sure that you test it. And so that's something that we did, just I think even on like a third-party site to see, just like one of those, I don't know, other WYSIWYG websites. Oh, the test. Oh, yes. So what we did is we launched our own site just externally, and we had people just even internally in the company. We asked them, where are you going? What is like the destination, and what are the activities that you'll be doing on these trips? And so
Right,
then we
and you're
started doing
planning.
that, and we started doing that and seeing if this was actually a need that people would use, and if we were selecting the right product. Then we did a lot of user testing just externally out of the company to see what they thought of the site, and they were saying that yes, this is something that they would actually need, because when you think about like the vacations that you guys plan,
Right.
there's so much money and time that go into it,
Right.
and if you don't pack correctly, and I'm not talking about trying to be fashionable or anything, but sometimes if you wore the wrong shoes and you get a blister and then you can't walk anymore, right? Because you didn't pack correctly.
Ruins
Whether
the
it's
entire
like
vacation.
it ruins the entire vacation. You can't do anything. You're just like sitting in pain. And so how can we help you to make sure that you're having the best experience and that you've packed confidently? And so we started testing it externally with user testing, and that was the feedback that we got, is that we were solving for a problem, and then pitched to different circles in the company for funding. And so now that everyone has their own, I guess, like budget, that's how we were able to move forward. So it wasn't like going straight to Tony.
Right.
It was actually going to these circles to see if they find value.
Right.
Yeah. For that.
So you originally tested this idea and marketed it to your internal Zappos employees, right?
To try it out.
So
and
you
like
grew a
process.
proof of concept and everything.
We had a proof of concept, yes, and then we tested it externally on usertesting.com, and then asked the questions to see what people thought of it and if they would actually use the service.
Now, is this service like a monthly membership? Is it a one-time?
Oh no,
deal?
it's absolutely free.
It's free.
Oh yes.
Whoa.
Oh yes.
Okay.
It's part of the Zappos website, and so the first phase of this is really we are selecting destinations that are trending and are relevant and timely,
Right.
and then letting you know as far as what is necessary to pack confidently for that particular trip. But the evolution of what we would like to do is really that type of like high customer service type of touch, and that's what we do at Zappos, like that emotional connection. Is eventually like you can then call in. Well, you can do that now. You can actually call in right now.
Yeah.
And our customer service would be really happy to like help anyone out with their destination.
Right.
But eventually we'll have hopefully like our online, or they can email and then tell us your destination, the activities, and then we will help you with a packing list.
I was gonna say, so is do you see this eventually evolving into like a concierge kind of thing, where you can call in and say, what is there to do in the city?
Ooh, you never know. Like, sky's the limit, possibilities. And I guess how we'll evolve is just basically seeing from like customer data and what their needs are.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, somebody who may not necessarily want to take a trip, if they know it's all gonna be planned for them, that may inspire them to go, oh, you know what? I've always wanted to go to San Francisco. I've always wanted to go to New York or whatever. And, having those logistics taken care of is just another bump in, bumping them up towards taking that step.
So it's just like, oh, it's going to be rainy in New York for the next 2 weeks. You plan. So we might put some rain boots or something.
Yes, I would love that. That would be like a wow example where you're just like leveling up. I would love to go into the planned trips for people, and then like surprise boxes. If we know where you're going and it is raining, we'll send you an umbrella just in case.
Well, that's awesome.
What?
Your actual examples.
What examples?
Like a weather example, but your actual-
Yeah.
Cultural?
Well, like,
Yes.
go-
Oh, yes.
your-
Real life examples. Okay. Let's see. So, with every destination that we're looking for, we're thinking first also like what is the weather? Also like what is the terrain? Like in Italy, there's like a lot of cobblestone streets and how to prepare for that. Also certain activities that might be popular. So we'll go ahead and help you pack for those particular things. I guess Tony's probably talking about Berlin. So when you're thinking about certain destinations, there might be, I don't know, a certain color palette or culturally how they naturally dress. Like with Berlin, it's definitely freedom of expression. And so people may think that, oh, when you're going out in Berlin and they have awesome nightlife, that you would totally like dress up in heels or maybe what you would wear to Vegas. Definitely not it.
Really?
It's basically what do you feel you're best in? And if your best is a pair of Chucks, a jeans, and a t-shirt, rock it, own it, and do it versus trying to be something else. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
it's
dope.
like almost like those, we've done the research to help you, like even culturally what you may see there. So
That's dope.
Ooh.
That's something I would never have thought of to kind of do. You mentioned how like Berlin, right? I don't even know what the culture is like out there. So this is something that not only kind of like arranges clothing and shoes for you as a person based on your personal interest, but what maybe the culture is like out there and what's kind of like, I don't know, what people wear to something like that, like an event, like you said, a nightclub or something.
if we see that it is a necessary problem, like to address that you may not know of, we will go ahead and tell you.
Because there are some countries where it's like you can't wear that color, right? What about something like that?
Oh yeah. So if you think about
Is it
you're
really?
taking if you're taking a safari in like Kenya or any type of safari in Africa, you can't wear camouflage because it's a military thing. That that is like almost illegal. You do not wear any camouflage.
Never knew that.
Yeah, so don't wear any type of like camouflage. You know, in the States, everyone kind of wears camouflage.
It's more of a fashion thing.
Yeah, do not wear.
No matter
that.
what it is.
Don't wear that in Africa.
So
you want to blend in Vegas, wear some Supreme t-shirts.
Exactly. And so like if you're going into maybe like a basilica or a church in Italy, or you know, one of those Catholic places, you have to make sure you cover your shoulders and so forth. So those are things that we're also letting people know that they may not be aware of, because we want to make sure again that they like pack confidently for whatever they're doing there.
Now, is this whole service using the Zappos based customer service employees, or is this kind of like its own thing, or is it intertwined? How does that whole thing work?
That's a very good question. So we recently went live, so we're working through a lot of things. Right now, when you go to the site, you'll see content already there populated with different destinations. We'll be adding destinations weekly, but at any time, regardless, you could always contact our customer loyalty team or customer loyalty at Zappos, and they would just be happy to help you. Eventually, I can see that we would have dedicated people directly for like travel and those fabrics, but right now we're slowly growing our team because we are technically a startup within the larger Zappos ecosystem.